Date, am I the a-hole for not inviting my cousin to my wedding? My fiancé and I decided to just have a basic elopement. No celebration, no after dinner, nothing. We might go on a honeymoon afterwards. We aren't sure where to go, but I'm sure it'll be fun with no drama. We also decided to postpone the date of our elopement for a later date. As of the conversation with my mother, a couple days after I posted the original Reddit post, I talked to my mother. I told her I am not having my cousin at my wedding. I don't care that she will be upset. It's my day and I say who goes and who doesn't. After I told her, she just sat there in silence. When I mentioned everything my cousin did to me in the past and told her that she did nothing about it, she got defensive. She said she tried everything that she could, but I really don't believe that. A couple days ago I went on a hike with my father, parents are divorced, and I told him the situation briefly. He decided to give me the full rundown about my mother's family, which was a very long conversation. He did not hold back. To no surprise, my father said throughout the marriage with my mother, she always chose her siblings and mother over my father and her children. There was no boundaries on my mother's side. Everyone was in everyone's business. He told me about the bullying I received from my cousin from his perspective. To be more specific, it started when I was 1 year old. My cousin at the time was 3. How did he find out? When my parents were still living with my grandma, mom's mom, my cousin asked my dad to allow her to go upstairs with me in my bedroom alone. My dad didn't know about anything at this point, so he allowed it. My mother then started getting hysterical and my grandmother told my father that it wouldn't be a good idea for that to happen. He then asked why she's only 3 years old? My grandmother told him that my cousin would hit me and be violent towards me. They said it was going on for months. The reason why they did not tell my father was that I wouldn't remember it and that they were just kids. My father was furious and tried to do everything in his power to protect me and my younger brother. Since my brother was a newborn at this time, my father did not know if they would go to him next. Throughout the years, my brother didn't receive as much bullying as I did. The lack of discipline that my aunt's kids received when I was a kid made it easier for my cousin to be nasty to me. My aunt didn't do anything from what I heard, and my mother didn't do anything. My cousin also told my father that she hated me and she hated my existence when she was 5. My father's theory on why my cousin was so hateful toward me was because she was the first granddaughter to be born for a while, since my older 2 cousins are 20 years older than us, since my other aunt, not cousin's mom, had them as a teenager. Right after my cousin was born, her brother was born and then it was me. My aunt and my mother tried to make us like twins. Same outfits, same everything. My cousin did not like that because she wanted all the attention to herself, which caused her to start bullying me at a very young age. Any chance my mom would get, she would bring me and my brother to her side of the family. It didn't matter where we were at. I never really got to know my father's side of the family that well from that. The part that hurt me the most was not really knowing my dad's mom. My mother would always limit contact with her on purpose because my mom didn't like that there was other influences in my life that wasn't her family. It hurt so much because all the times I remember my grandma, she was always teaching me how to fight and to defend myself against my cousin. She taught me to always hold my ground. I knew she loved me with all her heart and I loved her too. I wish I had a better relationship with her. There was other things that my father mentioned about the family, which I'm not going to go too deep into because it's irrelevant. The main message I got from all of this is to not break my boundaries and to stay away from her and the rest of my mother's family because they will turn on me. He told me it's not worth fighting my mother about these things because she is delusional and she will always take the side of her siblings instead of her children. In my father's words, she essentially made me and my brother as sacrificial lambs for the sake of the relationship with her family, instead of protecting her children. I'm going to keep my distance from my family and keep working hard to save my money so I can move out from my mother's house. I understand now that I cannot be around my mother's side of the family at all. It would be a very unhealthy environment for my future children and husband. I don't want to make the same mistakes my mother made. I want to be the best role model my family could have.